Alright, hello everyone, and now welcome to game number 2 between JohnnyCage and Neutron. Game number 2 taking place here on Tyrannus Stand. Best matchup for Tyrannus. Well, let's take a look. We are looking at Neutron spawning as the pretty in purple, or is that pink? Well, pretty in purple Night Elf over here on the top left-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, over here on the bottom right, we have Johnny spawning as the brown human over here. All right, we are looking at a standard Altar of Kings timing. I know that Todd likes to go for a quick Goblin Alchemist on a map such as this. But no, it is going to be Altar of Kings, probably with an Archmage opening up, perhaps going against a Demon Hunter, Warden, Keeper of the Grove. All three of those heroes very viable. Perhaps a distant fourth is, well, Priestess of the Moon. We'll see how all of this is going to be unfolding here in just a second, waiting on those altars. And Tyrannus Stand, a map that has a good number of expansions, and it also has these narrow choke points. These narrow choke points incredibly important at keeping track of where your opponent is. Map control and map awareness makes a big difference in terms of your overall gameplay, knowing where and how you can funnel your opponent into a specific direction. Now, we're looking at Neutron opening up with a Warden, and the Warden is a very, very nasty, powerful hero on this map because of these small gaps here. The small gap allows the Warden to be able to blink into a location and have easy access to a gold mine. With that said, sometimes I will see players purposely put an arcane tower behind the gold mine as well as in the front in order to control how many fan of knives that Warden is able to execute. Now, we saw a Warden first earlier in the semifinals with Cash. However, the Warden was not able to really capitalize and get high enough level. We'll see if this is going to be a repeat of that particular strategy, as Neutron going straight after that Renegade Wizard. Use of that Lightning Shield, very, very important to try to get and maximize all of that damage right there. You can take a look. There's a big fan of knives finishing off 2 units. And, well, the Warden is already well on its way to level 2. Back down over here on the other side of the map, Archmage going to get to level 2 very fast as well. The Frost Armor cast by the units earlier, making it rather difficult for all of these melee units to finish off these rogues and other remaining units here on the field. We're going to see a proximity farm be placed down. Water Elemental going after the Apprentice Wizards. This one Apprentice Wizard drops an item. Archmage should pick that up. Is going to be Mantle of Intelligence. No Gauntlets of Ogre Strength +3 as it moves along its merry way. Back down to the south here, a Footman trying to finish off a Wisp, not going to be able to do so. And, well, with a Shadow Strike in its back, constantly haunting the Footman, unable to escape, as Neutron has double Cloak of Shadows, perhaps not as useless as before, as the Cloak of Shadows allows heroes to actually hide during the day as well. Very, very important, but I'm assuming he'll sell 1, if not 2 of those items eventually. All right, back down to the south here. Footman Militia going to clear out the Forestral High Priest creep camp. Are we looking at a tech yet? No, we are not. There are still a good number of peasants being left behind, meaning we should be looking at an expansion attempt. Gauntlets of Ogre Strength +2 or +3 times 2 as a Tome of Agility being left behind. And, well, you see a reveal right here. And that's a critical reveal. He now knows that his opponent isn't trying to set up an expansion and knows, well, can eliminate or has a good idea of where his opponent may try and go. Meanwhile, back across here, Warden going to get to level 3, picks up Claws of Attack +6, has the Gloves of Haste, and we'll see where this Warden is going to be going to next. Should be able to get to level 3 here, and with level 3 probably comes level 2 Fan of Knives normally. But we also saw a Shadow Strike. All right, and that's one of the problems with the Warden. The Warden has 3 powerful abilities. You want to get Fan of Knives, Blink, and Shadow Strike, and unfortunately, due to the lack of, well, additional interfaces. I have no idea what abilities that Warden currently has. Water Elemental backing around, 150 Shadow Strike straight up on that Forest Troll Shadow Priest. There's a Fan of Knives. Could have tried to abolish magic, remove that debuff, as we're looking at the Warden now able to get away. Footman gonna take a large amount of damage. Forest Troll Shadow Priests are off over here. One Abolish Magic, not enough to finish off that Water Elemental, but it does drop it down to 340 some odd hit points. Arcane Vault getting added in. Scout Tower already being upgraded. Thank you for the subscription, Martin, as we're looking at the archers getting here ready to go. Warden perhaps going to try and get in another big Shadow Strike onto another unsuspecting unit. There it goes onto that Forest Troll Berserker. Is it going to get taken down? It has a Potion of Healing. Should be able to do exactly that. It goes down as well. And Neutron really doing a good job punishing this expansion. Is it going to be enough? That is the big question here, as a Water Elemental could get taken down. No, Warden now slipping back again as Militia joining in on the fight. Warden hiding back down across here. What is it going to try and pick up? Sells the double Cloak of Shadows. Now going to take down that Water Elemental. Gets a little bit more experience. Picks up Boots of Speed, as it now splits back the other way, but the Arcane Tower will be a major deterrent. Archmage teleporting back off to the north here to try and stop the Tree of Life, and this is going to be potentially huge. Dropping a Water Elemental in time. There's the detonations right there. 3 Wisp. Well, 1 Water Elemental essentially taking down 3 Wisp. Not too bad of a trade, but what's key is this Tree of Life. If this Tree of Life gets completed, well, this is going to open up a lot of opportunities for an expansion. Down to 73 hit points. It's trying to stutter away. Tree of Life does end up getting canceled as the Archmage now tries to back off, decides to use a Scroll of Town Portal. Better do it early rather than late, as that Warden would have just chased it down and then continued to fling more and more Shadow Strikes. Alright, new Tree of Life being placed down here. Warden having plenty of mana. Back down to the south, let's take a look. We should be hiring more units from the mercenary camp, as JohnnyCage needs to find a way to get a little bit more gold, speed building this lumber mill, and well, we'll see what all follows up here. Back off to the north, Tree of Life still has some time for completion before we get that entangled gold mine.
Players' forces are under attack.
Archmage off to the north picks up a Goblin Shredder to clear out this creep camp. Up to 44 supply now after losing, I believe, a Footman was taken down here. Mantle of, or Tome of Intelligence +2. Archmage should definitely pick that up. Needs every bit of mana, but also wants that Sobi Mask. And let's see what that second hero is going to be. We're sitting at 30 or 300 gold, trying to get as much lumber as possible, as these scout towers are going to be key to try and push back any sort of attack. We're still only looking at 1 barracks right now, so we aren't looking at a large number of riflemen. And what's also curious at this stage is the number of towers that JohnnyCage is going for. All right, Goblin Zeppelin drops and is able to deny the expansion again. And this is absolutely key, being able to control your opponent's economy. Once again, that Tree of Life was forced to get canceled, and Neutron is just looking at all of his gold constantly getting taken away. Thank you, Burba, for the follow. Meanwhile, back off to the north here, double claws of attack, a +9 and a +6. Perhaps we'll see some items being sold. Gloves of Haste sold right there, as Ancient of Wonders and Tree of Life being placed down. Archmage shows up again, and Air Zeppelin just constantly causing constant harassment, and this has just got to be just devastating for Neutron. Neutron has been playing a decent game, but he's been unable to control his opponent's movement, and JohnnyCage has so much map control right now. He knows that he doesn't need to, well, he doesn't need to actually win a straight up battle. He just needs to prevent his opponent from doing too much. Another drop behind enemy lines here. Entangled Goldmine taking in a lot of damage. Are we going to see a Fan of Knives? Dryads are all in position. 1 Hippogriff, or 1 Ancient of Wind and a Hippogriff could have shut this down as well, but we are currently looking at dual Ancients of Lore. All right, keeping that pressure once you're ahead. We're sitting at 51 over 66 supply right now. JohnnyCage is in that low upkeep hell. He doesn't want to be at 51 supply. He'd rather be at 49 than 51, as bears are now joining in as well to get in on that engagement, keeping that warden at bay. That warden, however, is at level 5, and if the warden gets to level 6, well, all bets are off. But nope. A quick 2-0 victory. JohnnyCage, even though he has the lower overall score, well, Neutron knew that the economic advantage was going to get there. Not a premature GG at all. I believe Neutron just saw the writing on the wall. Please stay tuned for game number 3.